Hi, I just want to stick this in here because I forgot to say who I am. If you're new, you're very welcome here. If you're coming back, of course, you're welcome again. My name is Susan. I live in Ireland in the County Clare up in the hills with my partner Tom and our two dogs, Shep and Mimi. And we have a small holding for nature. And this is just a little vlog style. It's not a proper podcast, but I'm going to show you some of the knitting projects that I'm working on, show you a little bit of my yarn stash real quickly, and I'm going to, this fella, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit of sort of what I'm aiming for and my word of the year for 2022.
Happy 2022. Happy New Year. For the new year, I've changed around my desk. This is sort of my crafting desk, and it's also going to be my journaling desk. I'm getting ready to cast on for the Trifecta Shawl, the mystery knit along in support of the AIDS charity. It's a pattern by Evin OK on Instagram. Evin O'Keefe, I believe, is her actual name. And I am using a trifecta of Irish yarns. So first I'll cast on with this from Olan and their smoke sock base. And this colorway is Damson. And it's a DK pattern, so I'm holding these two double, and then that is a DK. So it's very luxurious. It's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. It's so soft. And you can see it has a little bit of a shine. It probably doesn't have quite as much as shine. It's just, it's a gray day out. So the lighting is a bit funny. Then, so that will be my first. And then you use like a variegated or speckled. And for that, I'm going with another a merino and silk mix from Corcra. And she's on Etsy and she dyes in Sligo. And her 4-ply silky merino, and this is the lilac mist colorway. And I made a ranunculus out of that, and it's so lovely. And then my one that's sort of a neutral in the scheme of things. It has a few sort of little speckles, but it's pretty much a semi-solid. It's from Babbles Yarns. And you probably know Babbles. She has her podcast here on YouTube, Grace O'Neill from Limerick. She's not dyeing yarn at the minute anyway, but you can still get some of her yarns at Irish Fibre Crafters. And I got this from Etsy, and I got this, I think, just directly from Olan. I think they're olan.ie. And so that's her Delicious DK base. The colorway is Millish, and it's 25% virgin New Zealand wool and 25% nylon. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'll tell you the cost. This would cost me €20. This was expensive at £26. Okay, no, so this one I got online in the UK. That's what I did. So it was £26. I think I ordered it when I ordered some needles, some Chalgo needles that I couldn't get in Ireland at the time. And then this one, I don't know if it has the price on it, but I'll look it up and put it on the screen. But it was around the €20 mark on Etsy. So, yeah. So, very lovely hand-dyed yarns. So I'm going to cast that on. And I've also been doing, this is a very nice November Woods Fiber Company. Again, you probably know her from her podcast. It's Alexandra. She's over in New England in the US. And she is naturally dyeing yarn now. But she did this as a free thing. If you go on her website, you can download it for free. And Tom printed it out for me. He wrangled the printer, which we barely ever use. But yeah, it's really nice. It's about 13 pages, I think, for your knitting reflections and dreams. And it's just free. And so, yeah, it's really nice. So I've started filling that out. And for the new year, I've also decided to get, let me turn this around for a moment. That wasn't recording. So yes, I have my friends with me, of course.
I have Sheppy and Mimi. And so, okay, so, but every year, for many years now, I guess for 10 years, maybe more. Anyways, a group of friends and I have been choosing a word for the year. And Catherine was the first one that started doing it, and she told us about it, and we all started to do it. So this year I've chosen my word, but it's actually 2 words because I couldn't find one word that kind of described what I wanted to say. And so my words are creative organization, because that makes me feel happy and excited, whereas organization doesn't. And it's not really just about organization, it's about organizing my creative things, but also organizing things in a creative and new way, sort of like even my own sort of habits and life routines and stuff, just looking at it from a very creative perspective and trying to organize, because I, like, for example, I have so many crafts, and also I have gardening and all as well. So to try to organize that in a creative and enjoyable way that also then too takes into account of the unexpectedness of life and my own health challenges of chronic illnesses and such. So so a lot of creativity is needed, and by sticking the word creative with the word organization makes me feel good, like it's something fun. Anyhow, let me turn you back around. So one of the things I've decided to do is, so I've brought my desk into the study/guitar room, and because I just have more, brought in a few things here. So I'm in the process of, again, organizing a lot of my craft supplies, although all my knitting supplies are staying in the bedroom. But what I want to do is, I usually get up fairly early in the morning. And I love sitting here and watching, the morning break. And I light a few candles and just put on these little lights and sit here for a while and just kind of breathe and snuggle with the dogs. But once it gets enough light, then I'm starting to go through, I picked a few of my books out that kind of go through the year. And these 2 are new, the Moon Almanac, and it's just like different little facts about the moon, which is really interesting. And the Night Sky Almanac, which brings you right through the months. And that's by Storm Dunlop. Then we have the Natural Year, and this is by an Irish writer, Michael Fewer, and he's based in Dublin and Waterford. Then we have another Irish one, Zoe Devlin. She is fantastic with the wildflowers. I've read this one before, but I just thought it'd be nice to go through it again. Wildflower Hunter's Year, Blooming Marvelous. And I actually went out there and filmed a little bit outside for you of the flowers that are blooming at the minute. Windy night last night and kind of early this morning. Blew over the pots with rosemary, but they'll be fine. You hear the robin singing? It's New Year's Day, and I'm coming out to look for daisies. Daisy Day, I know they have been doing it up at Hook Lighthouse in Wexford on Hook Head Peninsula, where you go and count how many daisies you can find on New Year's Day, and I can see a couple from here. But it's been so mild, we still have calendula flowers. And another thing that the Botanical Society of Britain and Ireland do is I think it's on New Year's Day as well. I did it for a few years, didn't do it last year. I don't know if they're doing it during, pandemic, but you go out and see how many wildflowers you can see blooming. So, but here's the best daisy that I could see, because this one looks like it's open, a little bit of sunshine, having to mix the sun and showers. So here we go. Oops. Here's my daisy. Daisy for Daisy Day. So, and then this is a new one for me this year, is From Field and Forest, an artist year in paint and pen. And this is by Anna Koska. And I don't have my good lamp in here. I just have a daylight lamp, so the light is kind of harsh. But I'm a big sucker for books that have illustrations in. So that's a painting, and that looks like the artist has doodled in it. And there's, ooh, that's lovely. That's a picture of her beans. We grow a lot of beans to dry, and then pen and ink or pencil drawings.
So yeah, I haven't opened that up today to read, but I started over here. And then I also have a book that I've had for a while, Oliver Rowe, Food for All Seasons, so that'll help me go through the year, just with some different, food ideas. And then Sarah Raven's A Year Full of Flowers, and I got that last year, and I've looked through that, but I'm gonna, kind of go through it again this year. So I just thought that'd be super fun and just a way of organizing, because I often bring these things out, but then they're not right in front of me or they're near me, but things got put on top of them and then I forget to continue to look at them. So here they are in front of my face now. Happy New Year 2022. I've taken all of my yarn stash out of my IKEA cabinet and I've laid it out here because I'm going to reorganize it. And I've got also put in, so I actually have 9 projects. Let me zoom in bags up there. So it's sort of my next make 9, and I will possibly talk about that in one video at some point. But so I won't go through everything. I just love it. I did one video sort of like this, I think back in the spring maybe. And there's a lot more now, even though I knit a lot, because when I was in the US, I went on a yarn crawl and I bought a few things there for sure. But if you saw, I went to Goodwill, I think it was, I got 2 enormous hauls of wonderful yarn. So a lot of that's here. Yeah, so I'm going to organize this all together, and I'm going to try my very best. Basically for 2022, I want to, knit as much as possible from a stash. If I have a certain project I want to do and I can't find a stash yarn, then I will, buy myself a stash yarn. But in general, that's what I normally do anyway, is I try to shop from stash. But since I won't be tempted by a bunch of yarns in a thrift shop, charity shop, for an amazing price that I can't pass up, I think that I'll do my best to behave myself. Unless someone makes me an offer I can't refuse. So everything went back. And at the top, I kind of have things that are the next projects or things that definitely have to go together over here, like sock sets and the shawl sets. Although I just have my mohairs in the back. And then we have things that could be anything. And some that are like kind of duos that have 2 of the same color, but don't have a plan. One's sets, different things that go together. Some have a plan, and then minis, and then just... Sorry, that cut out quickly there. Those are just single skeins that don't have a plan. Here's my Stephen West shawlography for the M-Cow. I've actually frogged it now, and I'm telling you about it here. What I found is that the ones I tended to like were either really bright colors, or ones that I really actually liked the most were all kind of very muted and very similar, contrary to what he had suggested. I think those ones really let the pattern do the talking, and I liked them. And I liked some that I saw that were all really bright and wild. I like some of those as well. But I feel mine was just middle of the road. The colors were in the middle of the road, and I didn't really enjoy that for me. It was so much work, but it just wasn't, I didn't love it. So I've taken a lot of it. I've saved some of the yarn. Some places were too fiddly to save yarn, so I've just kept part of it intact. I don't know what I'll do with it. But yeah, so I've saved most of the yarn. And I don't have a plan for it, but I'm sure it'll come in useful. A quick look again of what I'm going to do for the Hyber knit along. I'm going to do the crescent shape shawl. I'm excited about these colors. I think they're going to play nicely together. They are Irish dyed Giddy Aunt yarns. This one is Marrow. These two are from the Narnia Club. They did, I believe they have them for sale regularly now too. This is the Lamppost, and this is Jadis, and then my main plain color is going to be the Serdar Snuggly in the color 471. So, and Stephen, as he's been doing, he's so great at doing, he has tutorials for the two shawls that you can do in the hybrid along, both the crescent shaped one and the triangle shaped one. So he's got 2 videos up now, and that's going to be helpful because they have some like cable, but I think it's easy cabling, but I've never cabled before. So that's one of my goals for 2022. So I'm getting started on that. So here is where I actually am now on my Stephen West Hybrid Knit-Along shawl. This is the cabled trellis one out of those yarns, and I've started my first bit of cabling. The first couple rows I was able to do it without a cable needle. Today I can't. I keep dropping the stitches, and then it takes me ages to pick them and find them up, and yeah. So I'm using a cable needle at the minute. I have a lovely stitch marker on here from Nicole, who is Time Weaver, and she also has a podcast here on YouTube as well as selling her stitch markers. I think she mainly sells them on the Ko-Fi, on her Ko-Fi. But this is aquamarine and a little lemon drop. I just love that. And I ordered a lot of stitch markers from her. I had her custom make some from me. And she also sent me some as a gift on my birthday because she knows how much I love 101 Dalmatians. And she sent me some Dalmatian stones. Anyway, she's just really sweet like that. And if you need stitch markers, do check out her Ko-Fi shop. Yeah, so I am really enjoying this knit. It's so luxurious and silky. I have a trifecta of Irish yarns. So they were dyed here in Ireland. I am going to take part. I was just watching Cabin Boy Knits, and they were talking about a new mystery cowl in aid of a charity. I'll link to their video because they explain it better than me. And there's a couple different designs you could choose from, and one is by Irish designer Evin, and she's designed the Trifecta Shawl. And it's going to be as easy enough from what she says, Cal. It's not going to be super duper complicated like the Stephen West one, but there will be enough to keep you interested. So this is the Trifecta shawl I was showing you. I've gotten the first clue for that. It's going to come out every Friday now. It came out on the 1st of January, and it'll come up on this Friday coming the 7th, and so on. And it's so far it's a nice relaxed knit. It's, you don't have to do a whole lot at once, which is great because I have way too many cast-ons. I have like 6, which is a lot for me. And again, I've got 2 more lovely stitch markers that I had custom ordered from Nicole at Time Weaver, stitch markers. And this lovely little fruity drink, I think, came with an order that I did of yarn from Benta at Arctic Crafts, or possibly from Nicolette at Fairy Realm Yarns. I can't remember, but it's really cute. But again, these are 2 very silky yarns that I've got on the needles at the minute, so it's just lovely to knit and to touch, and I'm enjoying the pattern. You can see I messed up there. I don't know how I did that. I obviously read something wrong, but just right there, I messed up. But it's just for me, and I don't care. And I have been working on my half and half triangles wrap with all the yarns from my Robin's Promise Yarn Advent calendar. And I'm just putting them in the way they came, which follows the story, the pictures in the story of the book. So this is 1 and then 2, and it's going to go right the way through. And I'm not trying to make them do a fade or anything because I want to follow the way the story is in the book, because that's what's special to me. So yeah, I'm doing that bit by bit, and I've wound up about half of them into magic knot balls. The other half I will do later on. And what else am I working on? Well, as you can see, I've done the barest amount really a cast on, and I think one row of the Mosaic Shawl by Marie Wallen for the, I think it's called the Year of Marie Wallen Cowl that Nikki from Knitting with Cat Hair is doing. So, but it's a year-long cowl that started in August, so I have plenty of time. And my challenge with this is it'll be the first pattern that's really, it's only just a chart. And I've never worked from a chart. It's color work in the mosaic sense. It's not like a stranded color work, which I've never done, which is something I want to do this year. And so yeah, so that's another little thing that I will be working on more probably in the coming, in the coming days. But
okay, crafting friends, so Shep and I both hope that you're having a good crafty new year, and we hope that 2022 will be kind to you and your family and your loved ones and to our whole world, to all of us. Getting so much snuggles. I think I'll just bring this little vlog to a close, and I will do a proper podcast hopefully in the coming week where I will draw the winner for the yarn giveaway that I had on podcast 15. I hope that this little sort of vlogcast has been okay for you. Okay, friends. Sure. We'll talk to you soon.